How's it going, everybody? My name's Shane. Welcome back to the Horror Basement, and today we're going to be talking about The Haunting in Connecticut from 2009. Now, this is a movie I had been aware of, but never personally seen, and it turns out it's one of the first horror movies that my wife watched as she was a teenager. So she said, like, "Oh yeah, I remember this. We should watch it." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I had some thoughts after seeing it, so I decided to use this YouTube channel I have to make a video. So quickly to recap, if you've never seen it, a lady by the name of Sarah moves her family into an abandoned mortuary slash house, because her oldest son, Matt, is struggling with cancer, and she's having to travel back and forth to get him his treatments, and this house is way closer to the hospital. So they move in to take some of the strain of traveling and all that off Matt. Now, unfortunately, Matt moves down into the basement, which used to be the embalming, the actual mortuary lab, for lack of a better word, and immediately gets possessed by the ghost of a spiritual medium teenage boy from the 1920s. And a ghost haunted house movie stuff ensues. Plenty of jump scares. While he's in treatment, Matt meets and befriends a reverend, and this reverend also is going through treatment for cancer, and his whole shtick is that when you have cancer and you're super close to death, you gain the ability to see and communicate with ghosts, which never heard that one before. But the movie, after the ghosts basically terrorize the family, continually try to possess Matt, and cause the father of the family to relapse into alcoholism. The movie comes to a climax with Matt barricading himself in the house and setting it on fire to free all of the spirits whose dead bodies have actually been in the walls the entire time. And of course, these are the dead bodies of all the people that the guy running the funeral home back in the 20s stole and cut their eyelids off and shoved them in the walls to use them as like a battery to make his spiritual medium teenage boy performer Jonah more powerful. So it turns out that Ghost Jonah is not actually the bad guy, and he was the one like keeping the family safe from all of these other evil or angry spirits who were trapped in the wall this whole time. And we end up Matt ends up getting saved from the burning building. His cancer goes away because he no longer has a bunch of ghosts attacking him, and the family lives happily ever after. So overall, didn't I didn't hate the film. It was the CGI for some of the jump scares and all that were a little bit dated, being from 2009, but that's not too big of an issue. My real issue with the movie is that it seems to throw a lot at you, basically, and not a lot of it ends up sticking. See, I feel like maybe the director or the people behind this movie, and this movie also purports to be based on a true story. So I feel like in the creation of this, the people behind it really thought that they had like a seriously deep and important story to tell, and you kind of feel that when you watch the movie. There's a lot of moments where we stick with the parents as they struggle emotionally, not only with the supernatural stuff going on, but just the stress and difficulty of dealing with basically terminally ill child. that, along with the the deep spiritual wisdom we're getting from the ghost priest, along with everything else the movie throws at you with the jump scares and the fire and the ectoplasm. It feels like this movie wanted to be scary, but also like heartfelt and emotionally and even spiritually resonant. And it swings for that, 110%. But really, all it accomplished is a pretty stock standard haunted house movie with decently creative and cool ending. Um, yeah, so I feel like the movie comes off a little bit a little try hardy when you realize what all they're trying to cram into this and what their intent versus what the finished product ended up being. Now, about this being based on a true story, if they had waited a few years, this could have actually been a Conjuring film, because the quote unquote true story behind this does involve America's greatest ghost hunting team and or con artists, depending on who you talk to, Ed and Lorraine Warren. And So between the Warrens' involvement in this and the fact that the actual author of the book that this was based on has since came out and basically denounced it as fiction, basically stated that he had to make up a lot of the goings on to zhuzh up the story and make it more quote unquote scary. And you add the fact that the movie exaggerates a number of things up to and including the fact that the house was never, burnt down in any kind of climactic showdown. And that unfortunately the inspiration for Matt, the real life sick child, did end up having his cancer go into remission after leaving the house. But of course, he was receiving treatments at a hospital from doctors, and the cancer ended up actually coming back and killing him a few years after this movie came out. So with the based on a true story being in like very heavy quotation marks, and the film trying to deliver a lot more than it actually delivers, I'd say if you're into the haunted house subgenre of horror, check it out. It's competent if a little bit dated, but if haunted house isn't your preferred shtick, you can go ahead and skip this one. It's pretty run of the mill. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.